someone's heading into the pits. Several drivers are heading into the pits, possibly to even make tyre changes before this race properly gets underway.
As we have two cars, Bart Harrison and Artem Severikin from Yenza Motorsport, going for a tyre change. Simon Strand, the only driver lined up on the grid currently who has wet tyres. My thanks to Robin Selbach from Gaelic Racing for that information. The lights are coming on. We are racing in the Formula Winter Series. Maxime Ream got an alarmingly good start. Was it too good of a start, I wonder? He leads the way into the first corner, but then he can't get it stopped at all for the first corner. Fionn McLaughlin is into the race lead. They're slipping, they're sliding every which way, but it's McLaughlin that leads. He was a fast starter too. Kabir Anurag had a terrible launch. Everyone is desperately fighting for traction. Keep an eye on Simon Strand in the yellow and black car. He's already making up places.
Really good stuff. Maxime Rem goes around the outside of Fionn McLaughlin to retake the race lead. McLaughlin responds down the inside. Rem's run wide there. Another couple of the US Racing runners also wide as they go into the infield. Where is Simon Strand in all of this? One of the Van Amersfoort Racing cars is off. There he is. There he is, the number 25 of Simon Strand, and you can just see from the body language of his car that he's miles quicker than everybody else, who's scrabbling for grip, scrabbling for tyre temperature. Now the question is, Simon, keep your tyres in check. Don't go too hard too early. There's a close moment there between Andrei Kostic in the number 10 and Thomas Behrman in the number 7. Through is coming. Is that Nina Hardeman coming through as well in the number 4? Is another one of the high techs who's had a very good start. Quite a few drivers. Where is Simon Strand? He's already up to around 6th place, Adam.
He's got to be careful, of course. I know it's great that he's got such a faster car right now, but he doesn't want to risk the long-term advantage for short-term gains. Even he on the wets, though, is struggling right now. He's struggling a lot. Is everything okay with that car? Yes, it is. Yellow flag at turn 11 as well. Someone may have had an incident out there on the circuit, but for now, Simon Strand has made up huge time. What's going on at the front? I believe it's still Ream in the lead. Yes, it is. Then it's McLaughlin. Then it's Anurag. In 4th place will be Gabriel Gomez, tucked underneath the wing of Anurag. And then Maximilian Popov is chasing as well. All 3 cars are going to be desperately fighting for grip into this corner. We need to keep an eye on this. Turn 16 is going to be very, very challenging for all parties in these conditions. Gomez runs incredibly wide. Popov may get 2 places for 1 here, but we need to see what else is going on at that corner because lots will be happening. You can see everyone sideways, desperately searching for grip in the back of shot there at turn 16. It's Ream that leads it. He leads it by 2.5 seconds, but the danger man in 6th position, Renault Motorsports, Simon Strand, going for 5th place, passing championship leader Gabriel Gomez.
Got to keep his rear tyres in check as Simon Strand. That's what he was struggling with through turns 12 and 13 after the long run through 10 as he weaves his way through. What an incredible piece of driving there from Simon Strand, who's now up to, is it 3rd place? There is Fionn McLaughlin, who's going to be the next target for Simon Strand. So it's in this part of the course. He breezes past him as if Fionn McLaughlin's not even there. Brilliant stuff from Simon Strand. But now we get into the part of the circuit where I think he's going to struggle, Adam. In this second sector, very corner dense, lots of lateral load going through the tyres. It was very noticeable the last time Strand came through and out of turn 10, that's where he was really struggling. I am a little bit concerned about him keeping his tyre temperatures and the tread blocks on those wets in check.
Chloe Chambers, Rafaela Ferreira, Marcus Sater all came into the pits at the end of this first lap. An alarming number of drivers not wanting to pit. Here we go then. Maxime Ream taking the long way round. He's trying to hold the inside line on Simon Strand, but Strand has the tyre advantage. Again, he drifts extremely wide at turn 12 and 13. They're side by side, and again Strand is struggling a little bit through that corner dent section you were discussing, Andrew, but he just about gets it done. There are no good tyres right now in these conditions, but Simon Strand has the best of them, and Renault Motorsport, the small Austrian team running just one car in this race, they've rolled the dice in a big way, and it pays off for them. 20th to first in 1.5 laps.
So now we go into a second phase. It's all about management now for Simon Strand, because you would think that the slick runners will eventually get some tyre temperature into their boots. Simon Strand needs to build this lead now, but he can't go too quickly. He's got to conserve these treaded wet tyres for the next 25 minutes, or start doing the rain dance. That would be useful for Simon Strand right now. 5 minutes gone. The starting procedure is also under investigation. We've just seen that come up on our screens. The lead for Strand is 3.5 seconds.
6th place already is Bart Harrison.
Oh, no.
Strand's in a spin. Simon Strand's in a spin. Bart Harrison is about to go past him, also on wet tyres. There's Harrison, there's Strand. Bart Harrison moves through into 4th position at the expense of Kabir Anurag and Simon Strand, but Bart Harrison, who, lest we forget, didn't even take the start, he was one of the 2 Yenza cars to come in for tyres, along with Artem Severikin, and he now critically is the leader among those on wets.
How about this for a turnaround for Bart Harrison, who started the weekend with a brilliant qualifying, was going for that first podium, was hoping for that first podium in race 1, lost out on the very first corner. His weekend has turned around now, and he's got a genuine chance of winning this race. We shouldn't forget as well, back to Portimao, where Bart Harrison got the tyre choice right there as well. A red flag unfortunately stopped his momentum. Here he's now going past Fionn McLaughlin. Strand is going to go past McLaughlin as well, but surely that spin's going to be in the back of his mind now. Very wide there was one of the US Racing drivers. It was Maxim Rem going wide there. Currently, back in the lead now is Maxim Rem. 23.5 minutes of this one to go. This is the part of the course where I really feel like the wet runners are struggling, or maybe not, because Bart Harrison's going to be switching back to the inside. Bart Harrison to the lead of this race. Strand's back down the inside of Rem as well. Rem's going to struggle to keep it within track limits, but does so back onto the back straight again. This is a fascinating scenario we've got here, Adam.
It is. Bart Harrison and Simon Strand's 1-2. I feel for Simon, because he will know, having just followed Bart for that lap, as if he couldn't see it from the cockpit, that car is on wets too. He knows he had the head start, and that moment will have lost him said head start. That spin was extremely costly, but he's still there in 2nd place. Bart Harrison is your race leader. Simon Strand is in 2nd place. Maxim Rem, the first of the drivers who started on slicks, which was everyone except Simon Strand, who started the race from the grid on slicks. He runs 3rd. The question is, how long are they going to stay out there? Will everyone elect to finally switch over? No, they're going to have to stick with it. They don't want to lose the time. At this point, they've lost so much time to the people who have pitted that they can't really decide to now make that stop. Dante Vinci, who came in and is now on his outlap, he's 21st, and he's on his outlap, so he's going to make huge amounts of time. The top 10 at the end of this race is going to be very jumbled indeed. Another driver who came in on the formation lap, Peyton Westcott. She is up in 9th position and leads in the female trophy.
A brilliant call there from Van Amersfoort Racing and Peyton Westcott. They've taken advantage of an opportunity here. The big question still for me, though, Adam, is into the pits comes the number 6 of Leo Robinson. Well, in a way, this is worth a go, because Gabriel, poor Nina Hardeman there is having to wait to have her service. Off come the slicks, on will go the wet tyres. These guys are hoping that the track stays wet and that there's maybe a little bit more of a shower, and that the slick runners just never get that full operating temperature into their compound. Just to note again with Robinson, Gomez at the moment is being scored as in 7th place. So Gomez is not in a position where he would win the title here today. But with Robinson now further down the field, there is a slight opportunity now for the Brazilian to win. If he can get up right up to the front, remember it's a very simple situation. He's got to win the race and hope that Robertson finishes 8th or lower and he would be champion. But now we're starting to see, there's a problem there for Olkutska. Really, really tricky day for Olkutska. This is a fight between Enya Fry and Peyton Westcott. Peyton, she's on those treaded wet tyres. This is all over 8th place.
It is. Theo Borenstein came in with no front wing. There was some debris reported at turn 2 about a lap ago. I'm assuming that could be something to do with it, but a lot's going on out on that circuit, Andrew, so I'm not sure. Nonetheless, yes, Peyton Westcott, as you said, challenging for P8, picking her spots very carefully. Maximilian Popov getting back underway. That's over at turn 16, turn 17, so he's still scrabbling for temperature and grip in that car. Peyton Westcott in the back of the shot is past Enya Fry, so Peyton is up to 8th position at the moment. The team down at Van Amersfoort now have 2 cars in the top 10 again as this race continues to unfurl for some and come alive for others. The 2 Yenza Motorsport cars running in tandem, Artem Severikin on wets, Enya Fry on slicks, and into the pits comes Thomas Behrman to switch tyres. He's already down in 11th place before that call is made.
Here's the situation. Bart Harrison's lapping on a 2-minute 16.7 on those wet tyres. Maxime Rem, for example, on the slicks is 11 seconds slower. 11 seconds slower at the moment on the slick tyres because they simply cannot get the temperature, particularly into the rears. They cannot get the temperature to get them to work. It's difficult to see how anyone who is on those slicks who hasn't already pitted are going to come out well out of this, but because so many other drivers have come in and put the wets on, you've kind of just got to stick with it now if you want any chance of points.
Exactly right, and what a hero to zero this is for Simon Strand as well, because lest we forget, he had a huge pile-up that he effectively caused, wasn't it, in race 1, I believe that was, having his moment under braking at turn 16. They've repaired the car overnight. He's now in a very, very strong position. Just following Matilda Patz right now is our race leader, Bart Harrison, putting a lap now on Matilda, who is, I think, on the wets, but unfortunately still losing time at this stage. Bart Harrison, as you alluded to, Portimao and the start that never was, that will have been a bitterly disappointing day for Bart Harrison because he made the right call on that day, as he and Yenza Motorsport have done again on this occasion. And the 21 car leads the race, not by 3.8 seconds as it was a lap ago, but now 6 seconds. So the Renault car losing time, Simon Strand's losing time. It's worth noting, of course, Simon Strand's, he leads the rookie trophy as well.
Yeah, he does indeed. Fionn McLaughlin second in that rookie trophy. Just keeping an eye on those also on slicks a little bit further down the order. Artem Severikin has a chance of a podium here today. He's currently 10th on the road, but he's another one of those running 7-8 seconds a lap quicker. He's just come over the line again and is scored now in 8th place. Has found a way past Peyton Westcott, who's also on right now the correct tyre choice. So keep an eye on the Yenza Motorsport number 23 coming further through the order. Thomas Behrman is not, I don't think has been scored back round on at the end of his out lap yet. It'll be interesting to see where the High-Tech TGR number 7 has formed back out into this order. Same with Nina Hardeman. We saw her in the number 4. Couple of notices coming up as well. Cars 7, that is Thomas Behrman, number 10 and number 6. So that's Thomas Behrman,
Andrew Kostic, and Leah Robinson.
Yeah, and Leah Robinson. They are all being investigated, or at least noted, for potentially not being in the correct grid slot at the start of the race. So there's more drama for us in this one, and it's still got 16.5 minutes to go.
Oh dear. It's all drama here at Motorland Aragon in the Formula Winter Series today. Thomas Behrman rejoining the race in 18th place after that pit stop. just to cover as well some moving around the field. Fionn McLaughlin has moved forward for third place. We need to keep an eye on the battles that are happening among the slickshod cars as well. Finn has moved up then to third place at the expense of Maxime Rim as they both skate around, frankly, a little bit hopelessly on these slick tyres in these wet conditions. Maximilian Popov in 5th, Anurag 6th, Gabriel Gomez 7th, Severikin in 8th place. There's McLaughlin, and there behind him is Maxime Rim. We just saw them go through camera shot. This is the battle for 6th place, and this is a wet shod Artem Severikin closing in on Gabriel Gomez and Kabir Anurag. Severikin to the inside line at turn 16, and he splits the US Racing cars.
We need to keep an eye on Fionn McLaughlin for another reason, Adam, because his sector times are now starting to match Simon Strand's and Bart Harrison. 34.8 through the last sector. Yeah, he's down to a 2:16. I saw him do this in Slovakia last summer. It was just a heat. Unfortunately, it wasn't even a televised race. But Fionn McLaughlin at the Slovakia ring in his karting career last year did the Simon Strand's trick. He was starting in the middle of the pack and was the only driver to go with slicks on that day. It was the other way round. Everybody was still on wets. And he just has this ability. I know we've been talking about his braking ability a lot this weekend in terms of how he feels a motor car underneath him. This is also a very, very good set of circumstances for Fionn McLaughlin. He has the knack. He has the ability when the tyres aren't quite there for the first 4 or 5 laps in the race that suddenly, bang, he can switch them on. He's just gone purple through sector number 1 as Fionn McLaughlin. He's taken a second out of Simon Strand's in that sector alone. Now he has got 10 seconds to find up to Simon Strand's and then another 8 seconds to find up to Bart Harrison. But this could be the stage of the race where if you've stuck with it, if you've stuck with those slick tyres, it could start coming to you.
Bart Harrison was still 2 seconds faster than Fionn McLaughlin on the previous lap. Finn is matching pace with Simon Strand's on the previous lap. However, he was still slower than Bart Harrison. The gap 25 seconds from Harrison to McLaughlin. He's, as you said, very quick on this lap, Fionn McLaughlin, but it's still going to take a huge shift towards the slick tyres for Fionn McLaughlin to end up in a position to hunt down the victory. Second position may yet happen, but I'm not sure about the victory in this set of circumstances, but who knows? We've got a long, long way to go. Fionn McLaughlin, luck of the Irish, he's not out of it yet.
Not out of it yet at all. 13.25 minutes. It's going to be very intriguing to see what the lap times are this time around. 2 minutes 13.1 that time around for Bart Harrison. 2 minutes 14.4. 2 minutes 11.4. 2 minutes 11.4 for Fionn McLaughlin. The Irishman is not done here today. He wants to make it a double on Sunday. The gap to the race leader is now under 15 seconds.
Okay, the gap to the race leader is 23 seconds. Gap to Strand is 15 at this stage. So Maxime Riem 25 behind as well. We have to keep an eye on Maxime, of course. Yep. He's when you put your cards on the table and say, no, the wet suits me or the slippery condition suits me, you have to be able to back it up. And Maxime clearly is doing so. So it's not just Fionn McLaughlin who may yet profit here. Bart Harrison is 9 seconds to the good at the front of the order over Renault Motorsports, Simon Strand. Come what may, Strand of Renault really did pull a blinder at the start of this race. They've just got to hope the tyres stay underneath them for the rest of it. McLaughlin and Riem, though, are now both hunting them down. They are indeed. For further changes down the order, Sevrukin is through past Anurag for 6th place, and Anurag has lost out to his teammate Gabriel Gomez as well in 7th. This is still an all-right day for Gabriel Gomez in a race like this. When you're championship leader and there's all sorts going out there on circuit, just get some points, just get them on the board and carry on till Barcelona with everything still in check. Where is McLaughlin now in reference to the rest of the field? He's taken another 1.5 seconds out of Strand in the first sector. He's taken a lot more than that out of them in the second sector. McLaughlin is on the charge, but Maxime Riem is the fastest driver on the circuit at the moment. Adam, purple through sectors 1 and 2. Here comes Sevrukin now with Gomez.
Gomez looking to the outside, so maybe Gomez is starting to come back into this as well. The championship leader takes 6th place.
This was my point, is we're seeing the reverse happening now. Slick tyre shod Gabriel Gomez just came back past Artem Severikin. Of course, the wet tyres, the treaded tyres, they gather heat quicker, obviously much too quick in these conditions. And now that the tyres are starting to overheat, I think a little bit for Artem Severikin, off goes Gabriel Gomez. Severikin desperately looking for wet patches, but he's not going to find many with 10.5 minutes left to go. There's still some damp offline, but only a little bit of it. So 17 seconds at the line between McLaughlin and Harrison. I also just want to cover Peyton Westcott down to 10th, Enia Fry up to 9th. Peyton has a cushion around about 20 seconds. It was 21 seconds between herself and her Van Amersfoort Racing teammate Dante Vinci. So as long as Peyton keeps it clean here, she could still be on for points, even though she is on the wets.
The slick runners are now, at the front of the field at least, the slick runners are now 6 to 7 seconds a lap quicker than Bart Harrison and Simon Schranz on those now pretty used, pretty worn, treaded wet tyres. Here is Peyton Westcott currently running in 10th place. Further down the order, Leah Robinson's just got past Dante Vinci for 11th spot. Thomas Behrman's trying to come back through the field as well, is now back up to 15th place ahead of Andrea Kostic. Here on your screens, this is the number 24 of Alba Larson trying to find a way past Nina Hardeman. This is all for 19th place and third of those in the female trophy.
Fionn McLaughlin is going to be with Simon Strand now. I was going to say any moment, but there they are on the circuit, round the hairpin, and Fionn McLaughlin is right behind Simon Strand. Simon is going to be very confused. Hold on a minute, I went flying past you a few moments ago. Of course, he won't be confused. He will know why, but he will be frustrated. McLaughlin and Ream will both go past him. There's Finn for 2nd place in this race. Through and now with the task of hunting down Bart Harrison. He's only 10 seconds away from Bart Harrison, and then it's Maxime Ream in 4th position. Popov 5th, Gomez 6th, Severikin across the line in 7th, having lost 5 seconds to Gabriel Gomez since we saw them switch. A spin, I think we may have just heard, or at least a big lockup for somebody in our ears there. Both Maxime Ream and Simon Trans are still running, but Ream is through into 3rd place as well. So Simon Trans is now out of the podium positions. Meanwhile, Sebastian Bach is fighting here with Dante Vinci. Cornelia Olkutska between them. Vinci taking the long way round. Vinci has lost time. He was 11th. He's now 13th. I think Dante Vinci might have had an issue somewhere out on the circuit. So the Van Amersfoort car, number 66, falling through the order. The gap between Peyton Westcott in 10th and 11th place Leo Robinson is 10.7 seconds. Both of them, though, of course, are on the wet tyres, so they're in the same boat.
Yeah, they are in the same boat. I think, unfortunately for Peyton Westcott, the wet tyres on her Van Amersfoort Racing number 94 may be in worse wear than Leo Robinson, because Leo Robinson was 6 to 7 seconds quicker on that last tour of the circuit. If you're Bart Harrison and Yenza Motorsport, you're probably looking to the skies now and going, please, please, may there be another one of those little random rain showers. We've had about 5 or 6 of them today, including one at the very start of this race, because right now, Fionn McLaughlin is tearing into Bart Harrison's lead. He took, 3.2 seconds out of him in the first sector alone, as we're having a look here at the number 84 of David Walter for Maffei Racing. This is all over 20th place with the number 14 of Marcus Sater in there as well, making his debut in the Formula Winter Series this weekend.
2.6 seconds, 8 seconds taken out of the race lead now. Bart Harrison was 10 clear a lap ago. It's now 2.6. Here is Fionn McLaughlin closing in on the other RedBull liveried car, the Campos number 17 of Raffaele Ferreira. She goes a lap down. Raffaella in her last appearance in the series this year, unfortunately, of course, because they'll be off to Shanghai before next week's races. Here is Bart Harrison going to be overtaken in a straight line by Fionn McLaughlin. McLaughlin has, as you said, Andrew, done what he has done before in karts, what he's done numerous times in his career, and stuck out a bad situation until it's come good. Bart Harrison will be going, surely not, but yes, surely. Fionn McLaughlin is now our race leader.
And to just put into context how well Fionn McLaughlin and Maxime Rem are doing here, you look down the road to find where's the next slick runner, where's the next one in that same situation. It's Maximilian Popov. Maximilian Popov is 15 seconds behind Fionn McLaughlin at the last count. This is an absolutely supreme performance yet again from Fionn McLaughlin, and you're absolutely right, Adam. Oh, as this is getting a little bit close down the pit straight there. It is what impressed me most about Finn's racing in 2024. He had some very bad luck that cost him at the World Championships and cost him in one of his European series as well. He should have won more things in 2024, but the talent and the perseverance have been spotted, and he's proving it here once again.
Simon Strand, look at him, he's so far over trying to find some wet conditions. Any wet will do to keep those tyres underneath him, but they're firmly gone, and Gabriel Gomez has gone to the inside, but he was on the wet patch trying to turn in. He ends up losing out to Maximilian Popov, therefore, who can now try and find his way around Simon Strand. Strand gives a wide berth to Popov here, and they now drag racing down the main straight. Of course, for Strand, given there's a good 30 seconds or so worth of time before he has to worry about losing points. I think at this point, the coaching from Renault is, listen, it's okay, we could still get your first championship points in the Formula Winter Series. Don't fight these guys too hard, just survive. Just survive indeed. Gabriel Gomez has got into range now, has just become the fastest driver in this race on a 2-minute 2.82. So if you're just joining us, 4 minutes to go in a very dramatic third and final race of the weekend for the Formula Winter Series. Fionn McLaughlin leads by 2 seconds from Maxime Rem, and Maxime Rem's not done yet. Maxime Rem is still there within striking distance. If there's any kind of mistake from Fionn McLaughlin, who's now having to work his way through some lapped traffic, and this is not easy, potentially having to go off that slightly warmer racing line. This is a bit area of trepidation now for Fionn McLaughlin. There's also all kinds of penalties coming in for track limits and false starts, but we'll worry about that later. It's looking good for those at the very front. We'll worry about that now, because one of the false starts, as I thought at the time, is Maxime Rem in the 71 car. Dante Vinci, the other guilty party, but a 5-second penalty for a false start for Maxime Rem. So that means that Fionn McLaughlin now has a lot of time in pocket in that battle for the race lead, because even if Maxime were to get through, he'd need a 5-second gap to survive. Meanwhile, Dante Vinci, who we just saw there on screen fighting for 13th, is in trouble. Sebastian Bach has got past Peyton Westcott for 10th. A bit further up the road as well. So Sebastian is into the top 10 as this crazy race continues to unfold. This is the number 7 of Thomas Behrman. Where is he even on the timing screen at this point? 14th. With Andrea Dupé harassing him for that position. A lot of the rookie trophy drivers together. What I was going to say is we need to keep an eye on Gomez and Popov. Here they are on screen now. Good timing. Gomez and Popov coming through now. The number 3 of Popov turning in. Now he is in 5th place, yes, but 4th place it will probably be before the end, potentially, because Bart Harrison is now only 6 seconds up the road from Gabriel Gomez. Gomez, who has held pretty much every position from 1st to 8th in this race so far, is closing in to get 3rd place and continue that podium streak come what may. No matter what we throw at him, he seems to find his way back to the podium. He's a class act. He's an absolute class act, is Gabriel Gomez, and he's pretty talented as well out on circuit. And I think if you'd offered him 3rd place at the start of this race when those spots of rain were coming down on the grid and no one knew what was going to unfold across the course of this half an hour, I think he would have taken 3rd place, especially with his closest rival in the championship.
Leo Robinson down in 12th place and not scoring. Here comes Gomez. He's going to sweep through past Bart Harrison to take 3rd place down the inside through turns 12 and 13. Brilliant stuff from the Brazilian. He's on his way.
Yep, 3rd position then for Gabriel Gomez. Popov will soon be on the back of Bart Harrison for 4th position as well. It's another bitter what could have been, really, isn't it, for Bart Harrison, all told, because once again the conditions, the wet conditions have beckoned for him, and this time the race even started properly, but the wet didn't last long enough for him, and he is dropping away from the podium places. Maxime Rim's gap between himself and McLaughlin is going up, so even though Rim is now effectively a non-factor for Fionn McLaughlin, given the 5-second penalty for Maxime Rim, he is still going faster than Maxime out on the circuit. McLaughlin really pressing on. So any other positions we need to be worried about? Yes, Simon Strand is being closed in by Kabir Anurag for 6th position. Enya Fry won't be far behind either. He's, of course, is still slick shot. And then Artem Severikin may end up falling out of the top 10 here because he is on wet. Sebastian Bach is hunting him down and at least be dropping down to 10th place potentially before the end of the race. So then our race leader has begun at the penultimate lap of this race. The clock has hit 0. We are on the penultimate lap of racing here in the Formula Winter Series at Motorland Aragon. Race 3 has been unlike anything we've seen in the history of this series, but McLaughlin has managed it to perfection. He's managed it to perfection, and right now he's moving up to 2nd place in the championship standings as well. It really has been a tough weekend for Leo Robinson. At the moment he's looking at 2 non-scores and a 6th. Fionn McLaughlin is looking at 3rd and 2 wins. It would make him the closest challenger to Gabriel Gomez when we head to Catalonia later on in the month. But down the pit straight, waiting to see him come across the line to see that final lap board. The pace is still good. Maxime Rem's keeping him honest, but we should remember again he's got that 5-second penalty to be applied at the end of this race for a start infringement, does Maxime Rem. So in effect, the lead for Fionn McLaughlin right now, 8.6 seconds. Absolutely right. So he's going to head on to the final lap this time by just getting around Cornelia Olkutska there, and then his next target is one of the Van Amersfoort cars as he continues to put laps on people. That's Dante Vinci. Vinci, who runs 15th on the road, is being put a lap down by Fionn McLaughlin. That is the topsy-turvy nature of this race. Not often does half the field get lapped in a half-hour Formula 4 race, but that's what we're seeing at this point in time. So McLaughlin leads by 2.2 now. That lap was a bit slow. Maxime Riem just set the fastest lap of the race and will therefore take the fastest lap point, of course, as well, even with that penalty in mind. And just to cover, based on your provisional maths there, Andrew, it's a 68-point gap potentially if things finish as they are between Gomez and McLaughlin. It's worth noting that, of course, because it still illustrates just how long of a shot it is for Fionn McLaughlin. Even though he moves up to 2nd in the championship, moving up to 1st, in some ways, is almost out of his control. It's going to require a very bad weekend for Gabriel Gomez, but all the same, this weekend for McLaughlin as a totality has been hugely impressive once again. He's shown why Red Bull picked him up at the end of the year. I really, really enjoy watching this kid race. Fionn McLaughlin, you are a star, and watch this name in the future, ladies and gentlemen, because if he keeps his head down, keeps working hard, this young man flying the flag for the Republic of Ireland will go very, very far in our sport. And again, I'll use that word, perseverance. These laps get him to the end of this race and get him as the race winner, but it was those early laps, it was those ones where he didn't panic, didn't spin off, kept working hard with those slick tyres. Those are the ones, as he goes past Thomas Behrman to put a lap on Thomas Behrman, those are the ones that have given him the opportunity to win this race, and he has taken it with both hands. He has indeed. Westcott gets put a lap down as well. He's lapped everyone outside of the top dozen. Fionn McLaughlin has had a wondrous race. Even when the conditions were against him, he found a way, and now Fionn McLaughlin can be a double race winner in the Formula Winter Series, 2 in one day, 3 across the season. Ream will finish second, even with that last moment penalty in mind. Gabriel Gomez just now crossing the line in third. Then in fourth place should eventually be Maximilian Popov. He will be a little while before he crosses the line. Kabir Anurag has moved up to fifth place on the final lap. Popov across the line in fourth. Anurag across the line now in fifth. Then it will be who in sixth place? I'm not quite sure. It will be Bart Harrison, will it? Where are they? Bart Harrison has crossed the line. In fact, no, Enya Frey managed to get past Bart Harrison on the final lap, but for some reason neither of them have been registered across the line by the start, by the live timing. There is Simon Strand across the line to take 8th position. Strand does score points for Renault Motorsport, a big vindication of their gamble, even if the race win and the podium didn't quite happen. Artem Severikin takes 9th, and Sebastian Bach will be next across the line in 10th position. Sebastian Bach just now coming over the hill to take P10 and score some points for himself and AS Motorsport. He was being hauled in by his teammate Matilda Patz, who was a lap down on him. Andre Dupé will take 11th, and Leo Robinson will be effectively the last across the line in 12th place, as we see some of the back markers there. Elia Lewis-Weiss and Theo Borenstein crossing the line. Already across the line, and the winner in the female trophy class is Peyton Westcott. So Peyton, with the gamble of pitting on the formation lap, has won the female trophy and taken 13th overall. She didn't quite get the overall championship points that I thought she might get at one point in this race, but all the same, she will get the female trophy award, and that is a good result for sure for Peyton Westcott. Never easy to race in these conditions. Anyone who got to the flag has achieved something here. Anyone who walks away with silverware has done something pretty special, but no one has done anything more special today than Fionn McLaughlin. 2 very well won races in 2 very different sets of circumstances. McLaughlin reigns supreme on this day at Motorland Aragon.
Finn, I mean, if you were happy this morning, what a race. Fantastic, just managed everything that was thrown at you and kept the slicks underneath you.
Yeah, it was a really, really tough race. It was really dry in the formation lap, so I said we'll put the slicks on. And then in the first couple of laps started raining and it was tough, but I trusted the weather and hopefully it went dry, and it did, and we came back hard at the end.
Yeah, if you know how to race in these conditions, you definitely showed it out there, certainly. Was there a couple of moments where you thought, oh, maybe this might not have been the right choice, or just straight through you knew what was coming? Yeah,
definitely, there was doubts, but I said to myself, I'm going to have to do the best I can in this position and see how it ends up.
And it's been a perfect day for you, really. I mean, 2 wins in one day. Coming into today, you maybe didn't think, well, anything's possible in F4, but maybe not what you were expecting. Certainly not to do it like that in the final race of the day.
Yeah, definitely. You never know what the future holds, but I always try to do my best and see what the result will come.